Hey, what's going on guys? RVZ Stealth here, and in today's video I have, in my opinion, the best assassins for Season 4, patch 4.13. First up, I have Yasuo. Pros to Yasuo are he has a great ultimate, he is strong with very few items. Once you complete your static shiv and either your Infinity Edge or your Blade of the Ruined King, he gains a really big power spike. He has high outplay potential because of his wind wall and the fact that he can dash through minions. His wind wall is, if you can place it in the correct spot in a team fight, or use it to block a high damage or high valued skill shot or ability on the enemy team, then it can really change a team fight and help you win the game. For example, it can block a Nami ultimate, a Jinx rocket, a Caitlyn ultimate. So if you can learn how to use Yasuo's wind wall to the best of its potential, then he's a really strong champion in that perspective. He can carry hard if he's fed, and he counters skill shot champions because he can just dash around and avoid skill shots that way. Cons to Yasuo are he is harder to play than most champions. He's pretty mechanically intensive, so usually when I'm playing Yasuo, I like to have someone else on my team with a knockup because you can't always rely on yourself to land the knockup because either you will miss your knockup or you won't have enough charges for it when you begin to team fight. So like a Wukong or a Malphite goes really, really well with Yasuo because it's an AoE ultimate from them, so you can get your ultimate off on many targets if they can land theirs. He has little mobility when escaping, and he's hard countered by Akali. So once Yasuo gets level 6 and he has his ultimate and he gets his stacks on his Q, he cannot use his ultimate if he's playing against a good Akali, because what she will do is once he has his tornado ready, she will just throw down her shroud and will completely negate Yasuo's ultimate because he cannot use his ultimate unless he has vision on his opponent. So in this case, what you want to do as Yasuo is buy a pink ward and place that down in her shroud so you can use your ultimate. However, if you're looking for a good counter to Yasuo, then I'd recommend playing Akali. Next up, I have Ahri. Pros to Ahri are she has great mobility once she hits 6 because of her ultimate. Her charm is very useful in team fights because you can totally just burst down an enemy if you can land your charm on them. Her Q now deals more damage and costs less mana, so you can spam that more in lane. She has high burst damage once she finishes her Deathfire Grasp. She has good harass in lane with her Q, and she counters skill shot champions at level 6 because of her ultimate. For example, if she's playing against a Gragas or a Lux, then she can just dash around and your opponents probably won't be able to land skill shots on you. Cons to Ahri are she is vulnerable without her ultimate, so if you're playing against an Ahri and you're the jungler, then you want to pay attention to when her ultimate's down so you can gank her. Her combo relies on skill shots, so if you're not very good with skill shot champions, then Ahri's probably not the best pick for you. And her charm can be hard to land. So, like I said, if you aren't good with skill shot champions, then I'd recommend playing a little bit easier champion that doesn't have as many skill shots. Next up, I have Kassadin. Pros to Kassadin are he has an insane ultimate. It's a 2-second cooldown flash, basically, so that's insanely OP. He has good burst. Once he gets to late game, he can pretty much 100 to 0 a squishy. He counters AP mid laners because of his Q. He has the best mobility in the game with his ultimate, and he gains mana from his W, which means it's hard for him to run out of mana in lane. Cons to Kassadin are he is countered by AD. For example, Pantheon and Yasuo counter him pretty hard. He doesn't scale as well as he used to, which kind of sucks. He can get harassed easily pre-6, and his E only slows for 1 second now. So I like taking Exhaust with Kassadin because of that, and so you can stick to your targets a lot easier. Next up, I have Fizz. Pros to Fizz are he has great mobility with his Q and his E. He's got good CC with his ultimate and his E. He has amazing burst damage with his full combo. His E is pretty OP because it gives him invulnerability. He has an Initiate, which most assassins do not have, so he can really catch people out with his ultimate and just use that to initiate on them and burst them down really quickly. He is strong at all stages in the game. He might be a little bit weaker early game, but he can still do a lot of damage. He counters a lot of champions, especially skill shot champions, because he can just dodge with his E, and he counters Syndra pretty hard because with her ultimate, if you can use your E when she's channeling her ultimate, you can negate that whole bunch of damage from her. And his E is also great for escaping, for jumping walls. Cons to Fizz are he's very squishy, and he has a little bit of a higher skill cap than most champions. So last but not least, I have Talon. Pros to Talon are he has insane burst damage. He's probably got the fastest 100 to 0 in the game once he gets his full build, maybe other than Rengar. He has good mobility with his ultimate and his E. His ult is on a very short cooldown, so you can use this to either just get a lane advantage once you hit 6, and you can use it to escape if you get caught out or something. He's a great roamer because of his E and his ultimate. His ult stealths him, so it's good for sneaking up on your opponent or just getting away if you get caught out. His Q is an auto attack reset, so this makes him a really good tower pusher. Like I said, he's a good split pusher because of that. His combo is pretty easy to land, and he counters a lot of skill shot champions because if they throw their skill shot out at you, you can just jump on them with your E before that skill shot hits you. Cons to Talon are he has a weaker laning phase. He can get poked down pretty easily by ranged champions, and he can get harassed unless you punish your opponent. For example, if they miss a skill shot on you, then you have to take advantage of that as Talon and jump on them and do as much damage as you can. So that's pretty much it, guys. This was really in no specific order. These are just my opinion on the best assassins, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe for more League of Legends content, and I will see you in my next video.